All right, so Don Cherry's favorite player, Nick Richie, is headed to Arizona. Yes, last night the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Arizona Coyotes made a trade which sent Ryan Dzingel and Lyubushkin to Toronto in exchange for the aforementioned Nick Richie and a conditional pick. The conditions on the pick are it's a second round pick in 2025, so that's pretty odd because that's like 3 years out. And Arizona, though, they do have the choice to make that pick a third round pick in 2023, so go figure there. What a trade for Toronto, though. I mean, Kyle Dubas, you can say what you want about this guy, about his analytics and his new school way of thinking, and a lot of people kind of like to make fun of that, but you can't argue with some of the trades this guy has made. I mean, yeah, he's made a couple of not so great ones in there, but hey, I think you can say that about every GM. For the Leafs, they get a guy in Dzingel who makes $1.1 million. He's a UFA at the end of this year. I believe Lyubushkin is as well. He makes $1.35 million. They ship out Richie, who made anyways in Toronto, $1.375 million. He was in their AHL team, I believe. Now he'll go to Arizona. I assume he will play in the NHL once again. Nick Richie is a guy who just does a whole lot of nothing on the ice. I mean, this is a guy who, was taken 10th overall by the Anaheim Ducks back in 2014. Don Cherry sung his praises on Coach's Corner one fateful night, I believe, in the fall of 2014, and said that, they should have taken him, the Leafs should have taken him over the little guy, William Nylander. Now when you look at where both of them have ended up in their careers, I think Don Cherry probably feels pretty foolish right now. Dzingel adds a ton of speed to a Toronto lineup that's already fast. Lyubushkin adds some physicality and some pretty good defense back there too. I think he'll probably be a third pairing guy, maybe even sneak up into the second pairing. And Dzingel, he has been a 20-goal scorer in the past. Maybe he rediscovers that touch in Toronto. Even if he does, and if he can be a good third or fourth line player for them, add some speed, add that threat, to the other team's defense. I mean, not that Toronto really needs to add a ton more offensive threats, but that threat of an extra guy that can skate fast. You can never have enough speed on your team, and Dzingel definitely brings that. And once again, I mean, great trade for the Leafs. If it doesn't pan out with these guys, I believe I know Dzingel is anyways a UFA at the end of this year, but I believe Lyubushkin is as well. Nick Richie, it just didn't work out in Toronto. I don't think Richie is a guy that can really play the Leaf style, doesn't skate well at all. He's just kind of a big, heavy guy that does a whole lot of nothing, like I said earlier. I mean, this is a guy who turned out to be a massive disappointment, I think. There were guys taken shortly after him that ended up being way better players than he is. Honestly, now I think we can start to say the clock is ticking for Nick Richie, and he really needs to get his act together if he wants to stay in the NHL. His contract does expire next year. Maybe Arizona even buys him out in the offseason. If he gets bought out in the offseason, man, I'd be hard-pressed to think a team would take another chance on him. In Arizona, if they want to move their rebuild forward, they need to make better trades than this. I know they're in a position where they're selling guys off and stuff like that because of the aforementioned rebuild. But getting Nick Richie in a conditional pick, whether that's a second in 2025 or a third in 2023, is not good enough considering you gave up Dzingel along with Lyubushkin. I would have liked to seen them. Obviously, I don't think he could have swung a top prospect. I mean, Dubas would have to be pretty out to lunch to give them that for the guys he got in return. But I don't know, probably a half-decent prospect along with maybe Richie and a, set-in-stone second-round pick in 2023 would have probably been better. Those are my thoughts on this trade. Please let me know what you all think in the comments below. Also, please like and subscribe and share this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.